My name is Carrie Bacher, and I work at NWTC in the International Programs Office. So the International Programs Office focuses on three major areas. The first is international student recruitment. So that is bringing students from other countries to the United States to study for a certificate or for an associate's degree. The second major area is study abroad. Our study abroad programs go to many countries throughout the world, and they are all short-term study abroad programs, so around 2 weeks. And then the third major area that we work on is internationalization of the curriculum, and that is working with faculty at the college to help them infuse international themes into their curriculum.
I did an application. I had to apply to come here, and I really didn't know exactly what school my program could take me to, but I just got myself here, and well, I loved it. It was just my program as the one that decided what school I was going to. Otherwise, I just applied to come to the United States.
It's a little weird. A normal trip would be a faculty member would say, I'm interested in a trip to this area for this focus. It could be architecture or welding, or in our case, just business in general. And then they would propose the trip, they would study where to go, they would make contacts. There's international department helps them to kind of bridge that gap. And then once that's all just settled on and the school says, yep, that's a trip we could do, it looks like a good trip, then they open it up to the students to say who would like to do it.
I come from Kenya, in Africa, and that's in the eastern part of Africa. I grew up in a small town close to Uganda, so it's a border town. And I got to learn about the study abroad opportunities through my high school, because I recently graduated from high school. And so it's through my high school that I got to learn about this. So the administration recommended me to apply for the scholarship.
When I was in college, I also studied abroad. I studied abroad in Mexico, and I had the opportunity, I received a grant or a scholarship to do an internship in Bolivia. So I worked with orphanage where the children had been orphaned due to AIDS, and also I worked at a school for deaf children.
It's good to see how people live, study, work in other cultures. It does a couple of things. It makes you appreciate what you have, see what other people might have to struggle through, or maybe what they have. In some cases it's better than what you have. And just appreciate that there's other people in other places that are just like us, but maybe have a little bit different language or a little bit different look, or their business might be a little different. But it's good to kind of talk with them and see those other cultures. I think that's invaluable for any student.
It feels good meeting students from different parts of the United States who believe differently than I, but then we sit down in class and discuss, and we embrace our differences and respect each other's opinions.
So instead of just learning for a few hours a day in a classroom in the United States, you're learning 24/7 while you're in another country. But even if you're not ready to study abroad, meeting an international student can be a great way to learn about another culture, or attending our programs on campus. No matter what career they're going to go into, we'll have some way that they are working with people from other countries, or products from other countries once they enter the workforce. So we really want our students to be prepared to be culturally competent. If a student is interested in study abroad, the first thing that I would recommend they do is go to our website at nwtc.edu and click on Study Abroad. They can see there all the upcoming trips that we have and learn important information about how to apply for financial aid for their study abroad programs, really all the details they need to know to start thinking and considering if it's right for them. Then I recommend they meet with Lacey Freeward, who is our study abroad coordinator, and Lacey can help answer all their questions, can help talk them through the process, and also help explain what it's going to be like to study abroad.
It was more of if you go on this trip, we'll let you apply that for some credits, but there were no classes and there were no reports or assignments. It was, you're going there to work and be and live in the culture, and for that we'll give you like some elective credits. And then I just was like, well, I don't really need the credits, I'm just gonna stay and live. And that was the last. Oh, when I went overseas, well, yeah, I was supposed to go for a work-study program in London, and I was going over with 4 different people, and they all canceled, and it was had like 3 days to figure out, am I going to use this visa that I paid a couple $100s for, or was I just going to let it go? And actually the day after Christmas, I said, you know what, I'm leaving. And I left for London, and I worked in all kinds of crazy places like a hotel, and I drove cars on the wrong side of the road for shuttling people to and from the airport. I worked in a pub, I was a chef for a while. And then after 6 months, you were supposed to be done and come back home, but I liked London so much I stayed.